Hi everyone, my name is Carrie and thank you for joining me again. It's been a hot second since I last recorded and I apologize for that. You know how life kind of gets in the way, and it was in the middle of COVID. Just kind of, there are no excuses, but there are plenty of reasons. So thank you for joining me back here again. I have the camera on a it's a wooden electrical spool that has wheels on it. So if you see me bump it, that is why. I have myself backed up to the yarn wall and then the table pulled in front of me, so everything is kind of the dog might bump it or I might bump it on accident, but if it wobbles a little, that's why. Is because it's on the table and the table is moving. So alright, so as I said, I'm Carrie from Chick Ashby Yarn Shop. We are a yarn shop and crafting center here in Cedar Hill, Texas. It is about 30 minutes south of Dallas. It's a 409 Cedar Street. If you would like to come join us someday, that would be most awesome. We teach any and everything that I can think of that you might want to know, and if we don't know it, we'll figure out how to do it and let you know. How's that for an answer? So currently we have on the docket hairpin lace, Kumihimo, braiding star, stained glass, resin art, chalk art, diamond painting, paper beading, bottle cutting, etching, and weaving. We just kind of do a little of everything, and that's what makes it such a neat place, is because you can come for one thing and grab another while you're here. And we will have stations set up once they get the elevator side of the shop finished. We will have stations set up where you can go around and do a little of each craft to see what you like the best and what, you know, just what you like. So it's a great way to get exposure without having to invest in all of the tools of the trade. You know, it's easy to drop 140 bucks on a new hobby and then get into it and realize that it's not really your cup of tea. So this is a great place to kind of figure that out before you drop all those bucks and spend it on yarn instead. Okay, so that being said, our hours are Sunday 1 to 5. Monday we are closed because all the businesses in the area are closed on Monday. Tuesday 2 to 8, Wednesday 9 to 5, Thursday 9 to 5, Friday 10 to 2, and on Saturday my business partner will be here from 10 to 6. So Tuesday 2 to 8 is our crafting circle online. Wednesday from 2 to 5 will be our in-person crafting circle. And I think that'll work better than trying to have people in the room who are not on video and engage with the people on screen and the people live. So I'll just do one virtual and then one live. That way everybody can get individual attention, and we can, you know, it gets kind of crazy if you've got people in the room that you're talking to and then people on the screen that you're talking to, and it just kind of gets a little bit crazy. So in the vein, I can't think of the word. I might be getting old. In the, we'll go with vein. In the vein of keeping me sane, we're going to have two different ones. One's going to be virtual Tuesday from 2 to 8. One's going to be, I'm sorry, not 2 to 8, 5 to 8 online on Zoom. And that can be found on the Chick Ashby page under the all the info tab. That's got our hours, it's got our location, it's got our phone number, it's got if we have to close for any kind of an emergency, or you know, the water main broke or whatever, it will be on the all the info page. And then it's also got the link to our most recent YouTube, as well as the link to our Zoom for Tuesday nights from 5 to 8. Okay, so Sunday open 1 to 5, Monday closed, Tuesday 2 to 8 with our crafting circle online from 5 to 8, Wednesday 9 to 5 with our in-person crafting circle 2 to 5, Thursday 9 to 5, Friday 10 to 2, Saturday 10 to 6. Okay. I think we've covered the hours. Kind of feel like that was belabored just a little bit. All right, so for featured yarns, I forgot to get them down, but I did want to show you the Texas ones. So here they are, denim and spurs, buckles and boots, which tends to be a little more golden than denim and spurs, and then cowboy way. And cowboy way is this really great kind of gray brown with this midnight blue and denim color. So those three are it for our featured yarns for this week. And that is, again, denim and spurs, buckles and boots, and cowboy way. Okay? Then we also have Likey in stock. I know that they have been out of stock for a very long time, so I wanted to show you what the Likey was that we have. We have the shortened set of umber. We have the extended set of umber. We have the shortened set of driftwood. And then we have a complete set of Chiagu twist. So those are the interchangeable needle sets that we have available at the moment. And so if you're looking for those Likeys, be sure to get them because they have been out of stock for a very long time. I know I ordered some back in July for a guy, and his wife's birthday was in October, and we had to come to the decision that he was going to cancel his order and get her something else because it hadn't come in yet. And I think we got the needles in this month. I think it was March that we got them in. If not, it was late February that we got them in. So they are very, very behind on being in stock. All right, so we also have some bobbin winders, and I am so excited to show you these bobbin winders. So we have two colors of bobbin winders available. We have 4 of the black bobbin winders, and we have 1 of the green bobbin winders. And so let me get it to where you can see it. But they all are antique. They all work very well. The black bobbin winders have this cute little, almost fleur-de-lis like clamp wing nut kind of thing on the end of it. But they are all really great, and there you go for your bobbin winders. Those will be listed on the website before this podcast is loaded to YouTube. So as soon as you see it, you will be able to go get them. I bought them from Sweden, I believe. And there are, no, there's 3 black ones and 1 green one available, I believe. If not, then I will update the totals when I post them. All right, so whips. I'm almost a little bit afraid to show you this whip. It is not pretty. Oh, and I just dropped some stitches, so whatevs. It is a shopping bag, and when I read the instructions for the shopping bag, it said to start from the top and go down, bind off, attach the handles. And I was like, is there a reason that we can't just make the handles first, however long we want them to be, you know, measure them stretched out so that you know that they will fit over your shoulder, then start from the bottom and work your way up until you run out of yarn, and then you use an entire skein of yarn and whatever. So that's why the bottom is green, is because I had just a little bit of leftover yarn from another project, and I was just messing with it, trying to figure out if it would work, whatever. I am fascinated by 7s and 3s, and I don't know why. I have my suspicions as to why, but I won't say that yay or nay for, you know, whatever reason. But I like 7s and 3s. My husband gets so mad at me. He's like, why do you buy 3 dish soaps? because there's one and then a spare and then a really spare. I don't know why I buy 3 dish soaps. I just buy 3 dish soaps. I don't know. Anyway, I think it might have started when I was in college and I was broke, and to avoid having to go to the shopping center and resist temptation, I would just buy 3 of everything that I needed: 3 toilet papers, 3 soaps, 3 conditioners, 3 deodorants, 3 toothpastes, whatever. And then that way I could avoid going to the store for a much longer time and thus save money. I'm sure that that's where it started. Now, I'm not sure why 3 instead of 2 or instead of 4, but it is what it is. I like 3s and I like 7s. So this, it started out with a cast on of 21 stitches in a magic loop, in a magic loop cast on. If you don't know how to do that, there's plenty of tutorials on the internet. I cheated a little bit in that I crocheted the cast on and then picked up with knitting needles. So if you don't know how to do that, there's plenty of tutorials on that. And then I did my favorite kind of increase, where you knit into a stitch, yarn over, and knit back into the same stitch, so that it was a 3 stitch instead of a 2 stitch or a yarn over randomly. And then when I came back around, I would pick the stitch evenly in between those 2 3-stitch increases and do another 3 stitching, or not a 3-stitch increase. It's actually a 2-stitch increase. With you knit into 1 stitch, yarn over, and knit into that same stitch again. So it's actually a 2-stitch increase with the yarn over in the middle, so it comes out evenly spaced. And is my favorite 2-stitch yarn over increase. So I did that until I got to 40 stitches between each of the I don't know if there's 7 or 6 stitch markers. 2, 4, 6 6 stitch markers first. 2, 4, 6 2, 4, 6. There's 6 stitch markers, 7 divisions. Yes. Aren't you glad I'm on the ball today? I am just so with it. It's astounding. Anyway, so I increased evenly until I got to 280 stitches, which is 40 stitches times 7 divisions. And then I just stopped and started going straight up. And the way you do this is you knit into the stitch. I don't know if you can see me. You knit into the stitch, knit into the stitch and wrap the yarn twice, and then bring it back through. Now, I have done drop stitches before where you make the stitch, you yarn over twice, you make the next stitch, you yarn over twice. I have never ever liked doing it that way because my yarn overs and my stitches tend to get all tangled together when they're going from the cable to the needle, and it just makes for a sorting nightmare. Trying to figure out which is the yarn over that you're supposed to drop versus the stitch that you're supposed to keep. This way of knitting into the stitch, wrapping the yarn twice, and pulling it back through saves you that, because the front of the leading leg of the stitch and the trailing leg of the stitch are separated very well. It makes it super easy to come back and just knit into that stitch, pull both of those off, and away you go. I can do it without looking while I'm watching TV, and that is the best drop stitch way of doing it that I have found. I tend to like things that I can do without having to put a ton of attention into it, because I like to either watch TV, watch movies, or listen to audiobooks while I'm knitting. And if I'm thinking, if I'm using too many brain cells, I end up having to either fix mistakes in the knitting or rewind whatever it is I'm watching. So that's my first whip. My second whip is all entangled with my first whip. And sorry that I just ducked out of the screen there. Okay, so this is one whip that's kind of just I needed a palette cleanser after my sweater, and so I started doing that. I also started doing this. This pattern is no longer available. I am not very sure why it's no longer available. It's still listed in Ravelry, and it does not appear to be in any publication, so I'm not sure why it was taken down. But my friend had it, so I borrowed the pattern from her. Now, I think this yarn is the perfect grello. It's actually a very golden mustardy kind of color and a super grayish lavender, but it reads grello. And I am loving the yarn. Hate the pattern. I was bored on the third row, and that is not good. So I have not yet decided whether I'm going to continue this and finish it and make it a shop sample, or whether I'm going to actually make it something that I would like and enjoy wearing. I just do not like stuff that is boring. I can't stick with it, and it ends up becoming one of those deep, what do they call it, deep stash, deep whip, where you don't even remember the name of the pattern or what you were doing with it. Okay, so for finished projects, I have, this is my second, I think it's my second, no, well, okay, so this is my very first finished object where I warped the yarn. I had a friend who had two unfinished projects, one on a rigid heddle and one on an 8 treadle, and I finished both of those, but I had not warped them. I just finished weaving them. So this is my first ever project where I warped it myself, and let me tell you, I did not know what overshot was. I would not have picked overshot to be my first project, but since I already had the thread on the warping mill, I wasn't going to undo it or pick something different. So here is my very first overshot project that I warped and wove myself, and I'm pretty proud of it, actually. And I see right there, there's an error. Don't look at that, y'all. Look at the other side. Okay. There we go. Oh, there's a problem too. Y'all, quit it. Quit it. Quit it, quit it, quit it, quit it, quit it. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's problem two. Oh my gosh, y'all, quit looking. Stop looking at that. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, that's better. Hang on. Fold up all the problems. Anyway, for being a very first weaving project where I didn't know about overshot, I didn't know what it was called, I was just trying to figure out why there was two sets of wefts that were on the same heddle. I don't know. So I was trying to figure that out, and the lady that I was learning from, I didn't know. And so I think it's done. I think it's pretty good based on me not knowing what I was doing. God Lord, every time I hold it up, I see a problem. I'm gonna quit looking. I'm still pretty proud of it, considering I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Had never heard of overshot, and that was my very first project. There we go. I think I did a decent job, other than apparently getting lost in the pattern. So and I will show you why it is so difficult, because this side is the side facing you when you are weaving. You can't see the pattern and that you made a mistake somewhere, because this is what you see. And it's much, much, much more difficult to tell when you're making a mistake. I have yet to figure out how to warp a loom where the design will come out facing up versus facing down. I have asked, and the answers that I have gotten do not yet make sense to me. So I'm going to either keep asking or keep researching and trying to figure out how to make it so that I can see the pattern and see when I'm making a mistake versus having this look like that. Okay, so let's move on from that project. You know where all my problems are. I'm going to show you this. I cannot remember if I've showed you this before, but it's a tiny Hitafude. I just think that is the cutest little thing ever. And I had it in the shop, and I was thinking of things that I had finished to show you. And I know I finished this a while back, but I don't know that I ever showed it. So it is just too cute. I still don't want kids, but that is adorable. And I could see like a pug or something wearing this, and it just being so cute. Now that I know that there is not a Hitafude pattern out there for kids, I just kind of read through it, figured out the gist of what it was, and then kind of did the math, did a little math, a little winging, and away I went. And that's what I came up with. I had to fudge a little bit on this back from here down because I didn't like how it originally was. These V's were coming out much closer together, and I didn't like that. So I recalculated and just did the math. So there's actually three, but there's a half, one, and another half. So it's divided. And that's how I did it. So if you plan on doing a tiny Hitafude, that's how I did it. Now, I needed a palette cleanser after I got done with this sweater. Let me show you my sweater. I am so happy with how it turned out. This yarn is called Happiness on a Stick. It totally is. The pattern is called The Laundress. I will put the title down below. But you make this part of it, you knit from the bottom up, I believe, and you separate for the sleeves, and then you do the front, the other front, and the back, and then you join them. By the time that was starting to become a slog, you finish it, and then you do this. By the time this is starting to get old, you're done with it and you go to the sleeves. I will say the sleeves took me longer to do than the whole rest of the sweater just because I dreaded it so much. And because it was hand dyed and I was having to alternate skeins so I didn't get so much pooling. And I just didn't enjoy doing the sleeves. Well, you can see a little bit of pooling there, but that was accidental because I actually did alternate skeins. But I am just so pleased at how it came out. The only mods I made were, I made it cropped. I did not make this part, the ribbing, I did not make it as long, I believe, as it called for. I wanted a cropped sweater. And this part called for garter stitch, which I did, but I didn't want to roll it like the original recipe, the pattern said. So I made a split hem garter stitch. And I wanted it to where I wouldn't have to worry about it if I was washing my hands or doing dishes or whatever. Y'all like my cable needle bracelet? I just reattached it to itself and stuck it on my wrist for when I was doing my the bag that I mentioned earlier with the green bottom, this thing. because periodically I will attach it, take off one needle, attach it, and pull it out to see how large it is getting. And so then I just put it on my wrist so I'll have it whenever, however I'm knitting. Okay, so there. Once I get done with this, I needed a palette cleanser, so I whipped up this little beauty. I'm in love with this thing. I love how it came out. It was just some Hobby Lobby cotton that I had laying around, and I put a little a loop on it so that it would hang up to dry. I'm super leery of cotton washcloths, you guys. They say to use cotton whenever you're making a washcloth. I get it. It's absorbent, it scrubs well. I am so paranoid that that thing will sour, like not dry fast enough and turn sour, mildew, mold, whatever cotton dishcloths do. I just remember when I was a kid and we had cotton dishcloths, they smelled terrible. And I always hated that. And now as an adult, I know you rinse them in cold water so that it doesn't harbor bacteria. You wring them out well, you hang them up to dry, and they should be fine. But I have that smell in my mind, and so I'm very, very, very cautious and reticent about using this for dishcloth. I will most likely hang it in the bathroom and use it as a hand towel, just because of that in my head about the sour, mildewed dishcloths. But I do like this. I like the way it came out. I love the colors. It's just happy, happy, happy. The pattern is, I believe it's called Whatever You Need Me to Do, or Whatever You Wish Me to Do. I don't remember. I'll put the name of it and the original pattern here so you can see. Okay, so that is it for the finished objects. Elevator progress. Y'all, I am beyond excited about this. The elevator appears, and I'll put pictures so you can see what I'm talking about. It is functional. They have been using it to go up and down to deliver construction supplies to the third floor, etc. They used it when they were insulating and sheetrocking the inside of the shaft. They have been using it to go up and weld and do things that they needed to do inside the shaft. There is a carriage, which I think consists of a plywood floor over a couple of beams that they've been using to stand on. It is still progress. I am still beyond excited to see, and they're actually working on it. So I took a picture the other day where it was just the shell, like it just the bones, let's call it the studs of the elevator itself. Then today I went to check on it, and I just happened to look at it, and it actually looked like the walls of the elevator were going in. It was below me and kind of at an odd angle, and I'll put up both pictures so you can see, and I'll put the dates on them so that you can see the progress from when I took the first picture to when I took the second picture. I'm so excited about that. Shop news. Sorry, I just wiggled the camera, didn't I? Shop news. We are no longer in DMH. We have been picked up by Yarn and You in McKinney, I believe. No, Farmersville. So Yarn and You in Farmersville has picked us up. We took over 200 skeins up to her, and she took them all. So we are super excited about that.
You guys, we got Chick Ashby in the store today. Look, this is the Mer Silk. It's a merino silk DK. Look at those colors. This one is oh so fine. Of Sky and Field and Grapes on the Vine. Look at that. These are some brights. That's Rusty Nail, you guys. Look how pretty. Y'all come see us today.
She is next door to a weaving center, so that is good as well. It looks like they have a really great setup there and teach classes and are very engaged and involved, so I'm very excited to be up there and in that market. And then we have been working on a way to create a weaving frame for rugs, and we have figured out a way to make both a single frame do the work for a rag rug and a plastic shopping bag rug. We are working on trying to make the frame lighter so that shipping will be more approachable. And so we have yet to figure out the materials, aggregate as much as we can to get that as light as possible for shipping. But I am super excited about the progress we have made on that. All right, and so that is really all I have to talk about today. I think that's all I have to say. I've been struggling for some time with just severe exhaustion. And they've checked my heart, they've checked my kidneys, they've checked thyroid, they've checked vitamin levels, they've checked hormones, and there's just everything is fine. And so I am going to be trying a protocol for fibromyalgia, the guanfacine, however you pronounce it, protocol for fibromyalgia. And I will let you know how it goes and what my results are. It does not look like it's for the faint of heart, in that when you start it, you are expected to feel much worse than when you began it, as you reverse the things that you've been experiencing for a long time. So I will keep you guys updated on that as well, which I think is also a reason why it's been so long since I've podcasted, is because there are days when it is exhausting just to stay upright, let alone functional, and I have the thought processes to be able to podcast and get it together enough to know what you're going to talk about, when you're going to talk about it, make an outline, get all the supplies and projects and yarns and things together, get the pictures taken, get all the pictures in there, get all the labels that you need in there for if something that you're saying isn't clear, you can go back and put in text of this is what I was trying to say, etc. So there you have it. I am glad to be back with y'all. I hope you keep me in your thoughts and prayers and wish me well. And I will be back with you hopefully sooner than later. And I wish you a great week. Please keep encouraging and supporting, uplifting other people. Everybody is going through a struggle right now. So please just be nice to one another and keep each other in your thoughts and prayers. And let's take care of each other and be the world we want to see, and be that person that we wish others would be to us. And let's take care of each other and be nice to each other. And with that, I wish you well, and I hope you have a great week. I will talk to you next time around. Over and out.